Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we analyze MicroStrategy, or Strategy Inc., now known as Strategy Inc., and its ticker MSTR. None of the content financial advice. Right now, the price of MSTR. This is not a crypto; it's a stock which is a proxy for their Bitcoin holdings. They hold about 760,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet, which are roughly valued at around 55 billion. You can check more info about their holdings on strategy.com. This is the homepage of that website. It tracks all of their holdings and what's the current value of those holdings that they have. If they have a negative net asset value where the Bitcoin that they hold on their balance sheet is the holdings are higher than the market cap, which is not the case right now. But again, this is getting really close to that market cap and the MNAV being closer to 1. So the total Bitcoin holdings is at around 54 billion as mentioned over here on the trading view ticker as well, whereas the enterprise value is at around 60 billion. So about roughly speaking 5-6 billion difference. Again, this is the market cap is just total value of basic shares is known as the market cap. The enterprise value is slightly higher than that. That is because of the total debt as well as the total preferred shares and cash balance. All of that is slightly higher than the Bitcoin reserve. So where does the price action go from here? As we look for this bear market and compare with the last bear market, we have some structural similarities. These are momentum based candles or Heikin-Ashi candles. You can check it out over here. The candle type is Heikin-Ashi, not the regular candles. Regular candles look like this. Again, they do not tell much of a story, whereas the Heikin-Ashi or the momentum candles help identify the momentum as derived by the like what these candles essentially do is look at the previous candle body and start at the midpoint of the previous candle body, and then from that point in time the highs and the lows are calculated for the month. So based on this momentum candles, what we see that like there were a couple of red months in the bull market here, similar story in 2025 and in 2021, and then 5 months of decent bullish activity in 2021, whereas this time around this got capped at around 1, 2, 3 and 4 month. Although Bitcoin topped in October 2025, the last bullish month for MSTR was July 2025, which is again slightly different from last time around, where in November 2021 Bitcoin had peaked and MSTR stayed positive till that point in time. Again, you can check the difference over here by toggling to the Bitcoin chart. So November 2021 was the peak for BTC, and October 2025 again the BTC peak, whereas MicroStrategy this time around peaked almost 1 year before that time in November 2024. Similar story in 2021, but again slightly different because Bitcoin had peaked in November and MSTR peaked in February 2021 of the same year. So about 9 months difference between those peaks, whereas over here almost 11 months difference between the price MSTR price peak and Bitcoin price peak. Since that temporary bullishness which lasted about July 2025, MSTR from these momentum candles based perspective has been down only, and this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ninth continuous bearish candle in 9 continuous months. So half essentially from August 2025 to December, 4 months, and now 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 months in 2025, and now 4 months in 2026 were bearish for MicroStrategy. Slightly different from the last time around, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth candle was bullish in terms of the momentum, whereas as evident from here after the fifth candle ended in December 6, 7, 8 and 9. Unless April, again now we are only in the ninth day of April, so unless April turns out to be that bullish month with a slightly upward momentum than the previous month's midpoint. So let's say if the price action were to go to somewhere between $140 to $150, slightly closer to $150 in 2026 April, then this could start looking similar to the 2022 month. Regardless what happens in this month's candle, whether it goes red or green, the first major drop that MSTR had in May 2022, which came after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th month on its bearish trend. Something similar did happen in February 2026, which is again slightly different. This time around it came in 7th month, so this is month 4, month 5 in December, month 6th was Jan, and month 7th was February 2026. So this time around, again, if May 2022 drop is anything similar to February 2026 drop, which could well be, then the first bottom prediction for MSTR is closer to that $100 level, and the price did go lower. And if you toggle to the regular candles, you would know that although May 2022 was a significant drop, the typical bearish trend for MSTR lasted all the way through December 2022, where the price was close to $15, slightly lower than $15 at that point. But essentially the most damage was done in that first drop of May 2022. So if similar story in February 2026, the first major drop sequence could be close to that $100 level for MSTR. Coming to our own website, again, rather than spending too much time with respect to other averages, what we have over here is the price action lower than the 200-week simple moving average, but not lower than the 300-week simple moving average. Again, last time around the bottom came almost 50% lower than the 300-week moving average. If something similar were to happen this time, again, let's say later half of 2026, then the floor shifts to about $75 for MSTR, accounting for diminished volatility to the downside. So that's one scenario forecasted by the risk-based models. Now coming to my website, cryptoweeklies.com, link on the bottom of your screen. We'll start with the regression-based model for MSTR to identify whether the price has cooled off based on the fair value estimation. The fair value is at $460. Even if we take the conservative estimate of the bottom regression model, the price is right now lower than the undervaluation zone based interpretation of what the fair value is. In the worst case scenario, MSTR fair value is at around $145. Current price is slightly lower than that, so that means per this model at least, the DCA at or dollar cost average at these levels in the bear market, not the worst idea. But again, that does not mean that the price cannot go lower from here. It's just accumulation based risk has gone down. Similarly, in November 2024, this model identified accumulation risk was nearly 100%. Now it's close to 0 to 1%. So that's just this model's interpretation of the regression based risk. The machine learning based model helps identify the potential downside and upside. Let's say if 3 more months are bearish in 2026, this looks 6 months out. If let's say all of the 6 months in future are bearish till about September 2026, which is unlikely considering the price action has been in the bearish mode since November 2024, although one could argue that the weekly average based weekly average price based peak came in July 2025, which was quite different from the last bull market, where the weekly average price in November 2021 was much lower than February 2021. This time around, weekly average price perspective, although the candle body or the candle wick was higher in November 2024, the weekly average price was highest in July 2025. If we take it from that point as well, July of 2025 is from November's perspective, it's at least we have August, September, October, at least and then the November, so at least 3 to 4 months prior. So even in that worst case scenario, that major panic drop that occurred at the end of year 2022 in December would need to be shifted by at least 4 months if there is some similarity between the two cycles, which again all are interrelated with Bitcoin's 4-year market cycle theory. So if we go by that theory, shifting the 4 months prior to December would be somewhere in September. So September 2026 to October 2026, the bottom. Even if we go by the June 2025 model, could be if the entirety of 6 months are bearish, the price action floor is at around 73. That is close to that $75 target as mentioned by this model over here. The white line over here could be close to $75 as mentioned if the price were to go below 300-week simple moving average. If we go by a conservative estimate of only 3 more months of bearishness, then the support levels shift to somewhere close to $85. So those are the 3 scenarios. Either the optimistic case is at around $100, the bottom that MSTR had in February 2026. The middle or average case is at around $85, and the worst case is at around $75. With that, I'd like to conclude. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.